Alright, how's it going, guys? So, True Detective, it's over. This is my friend Nate. We're gonna be starting, like, reviews and just, like, discussions on stuff like this. I felt like the last episode of True Detective is a good one to start with. So, what do you think?
I loved it. I thought it was a great ending. Very minor complaints. I mean, there was some loose ends, but I think as far as this being Martin and Russ' story, it wrapped it up perfectly, and I loved it.
I agree to some point. If you guys have watched, if you've seen my other videos, we're gonna talk spoilers. So, last episode, don't watch this unless you watch the other ones. Yeah, I liked the ending. I liked it a lot. I feel like the show needed more. I think it needed 10 episodes. I was really okay with the 8 episodes at first, but like the story of this show's story had like such an epic scope, and the scope just kept like widening and widening, and for like the last 2 episodes for it to like all of a sudden condense, that really bothered me. I really liked it, but it bothers me a little bit.
I can see where you're coming from there, and I do agree. I think with 2 more episodes, it definitely they could have fit everything in there and kind of got all sorted out.
Last episode, basically, everyone, Rust and Cole, they find out kind of coincidentally that it was the Childress guy, the lawnmower man. That felt very rushed to me. I felt like they just like, oh, we figured it out. It's like, wouldn't you have figured that out over all of these years? It took this long to like look at paint. I don't know. I felt like this episode was a little rushed, and I felt like the whole Childress thing, it was very creepy and very cool how they did it. I just feel like it was a little rushed for me. And I know I'm being nitpicky, but the show was so amazing, and it just was so strong that I feel like
it's all going to be really nitpicky. It's like it's with such a good show. The only complaints you can find are nitpicks.
It's weird though, because shows on I like Hannibal. I don't think Hannibal's as good as True Detective. I loved Breaking Bad. I still think True Detective, like the first 5 episodes were better than Breaking Bad. But there were things in Breaking Bad that I could forgive. It just started so strongly and just progressed so strongly that these little problems, they appear more to me, I guess. They just...
yeah, and that's a problem too, with how good those first 5 were.
Yeah.
Any kind of slowing down or any kind of condensing of the story, anything like that they're going to have to eventually. I think a lot of movies especially suffer from that. Really good, solid first part, and then the ending
off.
Right, and that could be what happened here. They just...
Before I get shit on by a bunch of fanboys, I understand that this show is not about the case. It is about Rust and Cole's relationship over the amount of years,
and that's why I can forgive it.
I can, yeah. But it wasn't just like a generic case. It was such an interesting case with all these weird supernatural tinges. So I was almost as invested in the case as I was the characters. So to just kind of sidetrack the case for the characters, I felt a little cheated.
It's going to drive me crazy, too, because I'm always going to be like, okay, who else is involved? How far does this go?
Yeah, with having it just the Childress guy, in episode 6, when Rust goes to Tuttle, in probably one of my favorite scenes of the entire show, he goes to Tuttle and he's talking about this, about the women murders, and it has such a large scope, and there's so many people involved, and I understand, and in some exposition at the end of this episode where it's like, well, we didn't catch them all. It's like, but I want to know about that. And knowing that the show is it's not like season 2 is going to come up and we're going to continue that. No, it's done. This is done. I feel like that's a loose end that was just too conveniently wrapped up. I really wish they would have gone for 2 extra episodes. 2 extra episodes, and just... I don't know.
And plus, we get 2 more episodes of True Detective, which,
it's fantastic.
Can't go wrong with that.
I'm really sad that it's ending. I love Rust and Marty's characters, and the fact that I know that they're never coming back really upsets me.
It is depressing.
I don't know.
That's what's worse. The worst part for me is that no more of those 2 characters, and all that banter at the end of the episode was just beautiful.
It did. For those of you that have seen it, Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson have probably some of the best lines I've heard. It's fantastic writing. The writing in this show is just absolutely phenomenal. I think, like I said, I'm being nitpicky. I really loved it. I loved the way it ended. I loved a lot of it. It's just minor complaints.
This episode ended with like one of the best lines I've ever heard a character utter in anything.
It was good.
I love that.
Spoilers, just spoilers. Neither of the characters die. I had been reading a lot that people really wanted, like, one of them to die, and I'm really glad they didn't. I'm glad that they let them just go live, and I felt like Rustin's, I don't know, kind of monologue about seeing his daughter in when he like he's been stabbed by the God, what, I just forgot their last name.
Childress guy.
The Childress guy. He's been stabbed by the Childress guy.
Hulk.
And he has essentially gone to heaven and seen his daughter and his dad, and I thought that was a really beautiful thing. I thought that was a beautiful
especially
speech.
For how, like, atheist he is in
Yeah.
the show. How much he drones on and on about there not being anything other than just, you know, pain in life and then death and blackness. That was just amazing to hear him talk about experiencing so much love, to being near, seeing his daughter and getting, like, feeling love from her, and then him crying about that. That was, oh man, that was just amazing.
It was the completion to his arc, and I thought he had a really good arc. After 17 years, he's kind of become less cynical, and he just...
And I was really thinking that they were going to kill him off. Like, I was really expecting that, especially when he got stabbed. But I like this more. I really do, because he gets... And
it's a better resolution.
Yeah, for him. And he's still bugged about the case, because he talks about that. Yeah, he said when he said that we didn't catch them all, get them all. And
I have two things. One, I feel like if they killed him, it would have been a really cheap move. Just like, oh, we're ending it. Like, it's never coming back. We just kill him off. You know what I mean?
Right.
A friend of mine texted me a little bit before we were done the episode, telling me that Rust had died, and that really pissed me off. And then I found it didn't. I was just waiting for it. And two, another slight problem I have. Again, I'm nitpicking, but I feel like the fact that Rust doesn't die, he's going to continue trying to figure out this case. I don't feel like he can leave it at just one person.
You just know that he's going to keep working on it.
It
probably will. It probably would eventually kill him somehow.
I think it would be really fantastic if, like, 3 or 4 True Detective seasons from now, we've got a bunch of new stuff.
Maybe they'll release a book, a novel.
There could be a book, a novel.
There you go.
What if in 3 seasons, you get 3 new seasons, like season 5, they bring them back. They bring them back for something else. Like I
would not be opposed to
maybe
it.
Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. I don't know. They decide they want it back. It's such a good show. It's such a good show. I'm gonna give, even my minor gripes, I'm gonna give this episode. I'm gonna give it a 10. I'm gonna give it a 10 because of all it does right. What do you think?
I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up because that's all the thumbs I have, and I say this was a great show. A great first season, and I'm looking forward to the next installment.
Hopefully, yeah. I've also read that season 2 is not going to be one director, which makes me sad.
Hopefully that's not a bad sign, but
I don't know. Who knows?
You never know.
But thanks for watching, guys. In the next couple days, I'm gonna come back. We saw Grand Budapest Hotel on Friday. That's not out yet almost anywhere, so it's really fantastic. I'm going to bring a full review of it. Thanks for watching. Down below, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.